All right, Algebra 2, parabolas get a little tough for us in Lesson 9.3. We are going to talk about a bunch of different things in parabolas. We're going to talk about the relationship between the focus, the directrix, the vertex, the axis of symmetry, and its equation. So notice a parabola is a set of all points equidistant from a fixed line called the directrix and a fixed point not on the line called the focus. All right, so here is the parabola that we're very familiar with. This parabola is not drawn over 1 up 1 over 1 up 3 for some reason. The focus and the directrix are of equidistance, so this distance and this distance. So I'm going to write that in with a pen. We actually call this distance P. It is equidistant from each other, okay? So notice the parabola hugs the focus and goes away from the directrix, and those are of equal distance. So we need to know a few things about parabolas. The first thing we need to know is it could be an x squared. X minus h quantity squared is equal to 4p times y minus k. And we also have a y squared, y minus k quantity squared equals 4p times x minus h. Now, we know that parabolas could be positive or negative, and that negative and positive will show up right there at the 4p. A positive x squared is one that goes up, a negative goes down. A positive y squared kind of looks like a c, and backwards will be the negative. So let's dive in to these relationships and let's talk about them. The first question has, a parabola has a focus of 4, 3, and a directrix of y equals 1. So the first thing we have to do is graph at 4, negative 3, I think I said 3, 4, negative 3, that is the focus. The directrix is at y equals 1. So right smack dab, because these are equidistant, right smack dab in the middle will be our parabola of the vertex. So I know the vertex in this case will be at 4, negative 1. And remember that parabola will hug the focus and go away. And this distance is, I believe in this case, is 2. All right, moving on to the next question. The vertex of a parabola is negative 5, 1, and the directrix is on the line y equals negative 2. So the first thing I always do is I draw things. So I'm going to draw it right up here. If I have negative 5, positive 1, I think they told us that was the vertex, and the directrix is at line y equals negative 2. So if this is the directrix, right here, I'm changing my line to purple, and this is the focus, and the distance from here to here is 1, 2, 3. I have to go 3 up to draw the focus. And it says to find the focus. I know the focus is where the parabola hugs, so it's going to go away from the directrix, hugging the focus, and that focus is at point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5. And because it was a distance of 3 and it was at 1, now it is at 4. All right, next question. We do have to complete the square, because this one does not look like what we're used to having. And we're going to find everything here. We're going to find the axis of symmetry, the vertex, the focus, and the directrix. I'm going to zoom in here so we can see this question. The first thing we need to do is we need to get our x's together, and we need to move the y over. Don't forget we do have to complete the square. Half of negative 2 is 1, 1 squared is 1. What I add to the left side, I add to the right. So remember, our goal is to make this a perfect square. That perfect square is x minus 1 quantity squared. And now, because this 2y plus 1, I have to take a 2 out, and I get y plus a half. Remember, if I was to distribute this back through, it would be 2y plus 1. So think about when you factor. So let's answer all the questions. The vertex is going to be my hk at 1, negative a half. My axis of symmetry, remember, is always that point at x equals 1. It's always the x point. But sometimes I like to graph to see where the directrix and the focus are. So at 1, negative half is the vertex. Remember, this 2 is equal to 4p. When I divide each side by 4, p is equal to a half. So remember, I have to go a half this way and a half this way. And one is my focus and one is my directrix. Because it is a positive, I know my parabola will be graphed as a positive x squared. So this line right here is my directrix at y equals negative 1. And this dot right here is my focus at 1, 0. Let's see if I answered all the questions. Yep, I found the axis of symmetry, the vertex, the focus, and the directrix.